Nightfall in Minneapolis in December usually spells freezing temps, and that is precisely the case outside these walls. But we are a comfortable 72 degrees inside U.S. Bank Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. Well, he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Their own 18-yard line.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And they will score. A pick six for the Bears. Touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears.
7, Vikings nothing. Eddie Pinheiro to kick off for Chicago.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
3rd and 3.
Now Wentz. Over the middle complete. That's Curtis. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
At the 40-yard line.
Throw out wide by Wentz. Not much there, only a yard. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the 1st quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. 1st quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. And he's got him. Got his man on the in route. Complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. A run there with Cook on first down, but it won't net him much, maybe a yard. Second down coming up.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. From the gun, it's Wentz. And a heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll run with a former Viking, Cordero Patterson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
14 yards into Chicago, first down.
First down, Bears.
They'll run on first down. It's Patterson, and he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Now a throw here on second down, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there of 22. Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback, running back, usually quarterback. A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration because the way the game is played in the NFL now, it's a pass-first league, right? So that means that people are going to adjust their defenses for him each and every week, and he's still putting up big-time numbers. I know the quarterbacks, the running backs get it, but he should be firmly in the race for MVP.
On second down now, it's Patterson. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Bears 14, Vikings nothing. Eddie Pinheiro, the kickoff for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Takes this about 5 yards deep.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit...
Wentz is intercepted yet again. Picked off near the 29. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
1st and 10.
Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Chicago 1st down there on a gain of 11. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
And the Bears are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set them up 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Cordero Patterson with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter as the Bears push further out in front. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0.
Makes the score Bears 21, Vikings nothing. Eddie Pinheiro to kick off for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Taken in the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the 1st half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
21-0 our score after 1.
Vikings nothing.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. A give to Cook out of the gun. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Cook. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. on second down. It's Cook working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. They went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. On the left hash, this from 48 yards.
Yard attempt.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. Now he dumps this off over the middle, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
Chicago.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues. And he floated one out there, incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. That'll bring up second down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. As a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards, so many things you got to worry about. But I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, You have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays can pop it up in the air and still...
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
At the 48-yard line.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Komet. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
And 6 at the 44-yard line.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 22 yards there, a first down.
22 yards.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now this one complete on the slant route. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the Bears are going to have a first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a first and goal. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And the Bears are going to be set up with a first and goal as good running gets them down to about the 4-yard line. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
4-yard line.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Patterson on the carry. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Cordell Patterson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points.
Makes the score Bears 28, Vikings 3. Eddie Pinheiro, the kickoff for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time, do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Thielen. That's a gain of 8. Makes it 3rd and 3.
This time they stay on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
Their own 21-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And complete this one to Patterson. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 12 yards there and a first down.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
On first down, Patterson. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3-3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Now the 2nd down throw on target. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a first. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain.
Complete.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. But the man is connected to tag in. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. They'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. A shotgun handoff to Patterson. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run. And this offense continues to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Fielded in the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3-and-out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit, too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And now they can't even get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Cook following the penalty. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32.
On the carry.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
30-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around. And this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Ashton Davis. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And now here's another interception. Picked off near the 26. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
At the 46-yard line.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
He'll drop to throw. Got a man, it's Patterson, complete. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory.
Complete.
A big play there on the catch and run. 45 yards.
10-yard line.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Pinheiro to kick off for Chicago.
Pinheiro now to kick this one away.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
They're on 17-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done a great job of doing that.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Shotgun now for Wentz. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 28. And this one will be brought back to the 22. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
First down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. And it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. That's complete to Mooney. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
Darnell Mooney
with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Bears 49, Vikings 3. Eddie Pinheiro to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
Their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Wentz. It's caught on the right side at Smith.
Complete.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They're going for it. Here's Madison. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Throwing now is Wentz. Setting up the screen for Cook. That catch good for only a couple.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz over the middle into traffic, and that's complete.
To number 16.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And now here's another interception. Picked off near the 42. 20. And they will score. Pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Bears 56, Vikings 3. Eddie Pinheiro to kick off for Chicago.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
10 at the 38-yard line.
On the ground, it's Cook. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
The tackle made at the 44-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up second.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. They run with Cook. He's been busy today. And this will be a Vikings first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. And now they can't even get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Now Cook. This one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Down by Khalil Mack.
On 2nd and 7, Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. He can run for it, and he will. And the ball comes loose, and this is picked up by the Bears. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
You've got to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing is ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
2nd down. Tonight's final score, Bears.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong.